Hello, Doctor. How are you? Hello, everybody. This is so great. And before we begin, however, I want to just pay my respects to the people. Unfortunately, 2 are no longer with us. Brown University, 9 injured, and 2 are looking down on us right now from heaven. And likewise in Australia, as you know, that was a terrible attack. 11 dead, 29 badly wounded. And that was an anti-Semitic attack, obviously. And I just want to pay my respects to everybody. I must say, in Syria also, we had an attack in Syria, and we had 3 great patriots terminated by bad people. And not the Syrian government. It was ISIS. Syrian government fought by our side. The new president fought by our side. But I just want to pay my respects to the families. We also had 3 injured, but 2 of them are already out of the hospital and 1's going to be okay. But we lost 3. So it was a rough day. But to Australia and the Prime Minister, to everybody that we know so well, we get along with so well. We have a great relationship. That's a terrible situation going on over there. Think of that. And Brown University, great school, great. Really one of the greatest schools anywhere in the world. Things can happen. So, to the 9 injured, get well fast. And to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America. Thank you very much. It's a very important thing to say, and we mean it. I can tell you in Syria there will be a lot of damage done to the people that did it. They got the person, the individual person, but there'll be big damage done. And the other, supposedly they call him a person of interest. So I'll keep it along those lines so we don't get ourselves in any trouble. But they have a person of interest at Brown. And in Australia, you probably read they've, it's been a very, very brave person, actually, who went and attacked frontally, one of the shooters, and saved a lot of lives. So, very brave person who's right now in the hospital. Pretty serious, seriously wounded. So I great respect to that man that did that. But we're here for a different reason. We're here to celebrate Christmas and to celebrate. And I think today we can very say loudly, we celebrate Hanukkah, because that was such a horrible attack. That was a purely anti-Semitic attack. And to really celebrate the new year, we have an amazing couple of achievements. We've taken in more investment money than any country has ever taken in by 4 times. There's never been anything like it. And I'd like to say that was because of the November 5th election. But, and it was to an extent because without the November 5th election, you would have had a president that didn't have the courage to use tariffs the way they should be used. And because of the tariffs, we've taken in more than think of this, $18 trillion. There's never been anything like it. As an example, the previous administration, Sleepy Joe Biden, took in less than $1 trillion in 4 years. We took in more than $18 trillion in 10 months. I'd say that's pretty good, right? I'd say that's pretty good. And if you go back into history, there's never been a country that's taken in more than $3 trillion, and we have over 18. That's again because they don't want to pay tariffs. So in order not to pay tariffs, they come in and they build their plant in the United States. It's pretty simple. And it's been pretty amazing, actually. I want to just explain a couple of things, and then I'm going to just leave by saying, have a great Christmas. But our country is doing really well. We inherited a mess from Biden and the Biden administration. We had the worst inflation in the history of our country. The worst inflation in the history of our country. Prices were the highest they ever were, and what we're doing is bringing them down. We now have inflation is totally neutralized. We may get it a little bit lower. You don't want to get it too, You don't want deflation. Deflation is in many ways worse than inflation. But we have a record setting. We have more people on Friday. We had more people working on Friday than at any time in the history of our country. You think of that. Wages have gone up by more than inflation. First time that's happened in many years. We are doing great, and prices are coming down. And the Democrats use this word called affordability. They look at the camera and they say, "What are you going to do for the affordability?" They keep saying, affordability. Well, they're the ones that cause the problem, okay? They're the ones that cause the problem. That's all they're good at cheating in elections. Very good at cheating. Their professionals are cheating because we won in 2016 by a lot. The election was rigged in 2020. We have all the ammunition, all the stuff, and you'll see it come out. It's coming out in truckloads. But then we won again in 2024 with an election that we call too big to rig. And we were leading big in the polls, but I said, go out and vote. You got to go out and vote. Make it too big to rig. And that's exactly they tried to rig it, but they couldn't do it. It was too big to rig. Too many votes, and we won every single swing state. We won by millions of votes. We won the popular vote. We won the electoral college. We won something else by a lot. We won something else that was amazing, and that's called districts. So the country is divided up into thousands of districts. We won 2,750 to 525. That's why when you look at a map of the election, the entire map is red, other than two little blue stripes along the outer edge. One is California, one's New York. And California's election, New York also, but California more than any other place is so rigged. It's such a rigged election. You know, we won the Hispanic vote. So, a lot of people say Republican wouldn't win California, but I won the Hispanic vote. I won in Miami. Think of that in Miami, I won the Hispanic vote along the Texas border. I want every single city or town touching the Texas border, and they're 85 to 90% Hispanic. We won the Hispanic vote. If the vote in California was legitimate, which it's not. They have 38 million ballots. Everything is mail-in voting. They mail out 38 million ballots and they come in. Where the hell do they go and where do they come from? It's a rigged election in California because we would win California by a lot. And again, they feel they have the advantage with Hispanic. They don't because I won Hispanic vote. So we did something that was amazing. We made a comeback and we got the most Republican votes in the history of elections. We won Texas by more votes than anybody's ever gotten to this. Well, I did number 1, number 2, and 3. All 3 I did in Texas and Alabama and many other states. We won in many states. We have the all-time record for votes, and it was just a great election. This was a great election. So I just want to say this was an amazing period of time. Our country has been turned around much faster than I thought. If you would have told me that 10 months in, we would have over 18 trillion with a T, not billion, but $18 trillion coming in. And they're coming in, that's all. They're building car plants, they're building AI plants, they're building everything at a level that we've never seen, that no country has ever seen before. Now, I assume that's going to start. It's already showing up, but I assume that it's going to start showing up. I'll be picking a new head of the Fed soon. Our Fed person is absolutely despite him. We have numbers that really nobody's ever seen. Vince, right? Despite him, we have numbers that nobody's ever seen before. We're fighting through him. And we'll soon have a good head of the Fed who's going to want to see interest rates go down. But we're fighting through higher interest rates, but the interest rates are coming down despite him. He's an incompetent person who suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. Okay, It's one of those little problems. We have many of them, but we're fighting through that stuff. And we have a country that potentially is geared to have the most incredible golden years ever. We're going to have, it's the golden age. I say it's the golden age of America when these factories and plants open up by the thousands. A Toyota just announced they're going to spend $10 billion building plants to make Toyotas. So they're coming from Germany. They're coming from Japan. They're coming from Canada. Many factories are coming in because they don't want to pay tariffs. Very simple. They're coming in and they're spending they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars. Our car industry lost 58% of their capacity over the years. They went to Europe. They went to Mexico, Japan. They went all over. They went to South Korea. And now it's just the opposite. They're all coming back. We have an age that's coming up the likes of which I don't think this country has never seen. And I just look so forward to the results. You're going to see results in 6 months to a year. I think you'll see results. We've never had anything like it. Again, there's never been any country. China, wonderful. I have a great relationship with President Xi. China's never seen it. Nobody's ever seen it. And by the way, we're leading in AI by a lot. AI is a big deal, and we're leading in AI by a lot. And the big problem was electricity. But I allow our plants, in other words, all of these geniuses that are building a $60 billion $60 billion plant. I allow them to build their own electric capacity as part of the plant. And that solved the problem with the old grid. So they're able to do things that nobody thought they'd be able to do. We're getting them very fast approvals. And many of those plants are right now being built. So we have things happening like nobody's ever seen before. We have a great country. It's a great time to have Christmas. And I just want to introduce a person who's very outstanding. She is a great person, a highly respected woman. Every time I make a speech, I see signs. We love our First Lady. We love our First Lady. They love our First Lady. What can I do? I don't like it because I think they like her more than they like me, and I am not happy about it. I am not happy. We're going to have a discussion about this. But they love our First Lady. And you know, Melania did all of these decorations and she's gotten great reviews. The first year she did the trees, that's right. The first year, year 1, she did the trees. They were white and they were so, snow, beautiful, and the fake news hit her hard. The next year they were red, gorgeous red. They hit her hard. The next year they were another colour. They hit her. I said, "Baby, do me a favour. Do me a favour. Make the trees green. Let them just be green. They're so beautiful. Let them be green." Anyway, she has gotten the greatest reviews I've ever seen. And nobody has ever gotten reviews like this for the White House. I actually like the white ones better, but what am I? She has done a great job. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and really have a fantastic year. We're going to have a great year. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.